This is Jacqueline Dancer. I'm going to be introducing today Paramount, and we are going to be talking about the EB-5, the investment and the real estate here. We are going to be joined by Bob, and we are also going to be... Hi Bob, how are you? Please
great.
join me. And
Hi,
here,
Bob.
how are you?
Very good, thank you very much.
Excellent. Bob is the attorney that knows about business, immigration, and he is going to explain a little to us how is this combination of EB-5 and the ability to purchase here and obtain the visa and do everything that people sometimes confuse and so on. But tell us a little about you, Victoria Law Group. So, please.
Yeah, sure. My name is Bob Arnold. I am an attorney registered here in the United States. I graduated from Harvard Law School in 1993. I've been practicing with a small group of friends, really, since 2007 here in Florida. We are familiar with business immigration. It's one of our specialties, as well as real estate. We've handled a lot of clients who have decided to invest in various projects throughout the United States in order to obtain their green card through the EB-5 program. So I'm very happy to talk about that. Also very happy to answer any other questions that your audience might have.
Absolutely. Well, I had been approached several times by a very common question that they ask me if by buying a condominium they get the green card. And what would be your advice for someone who asks that question?
No. So my advice would be that they should distinguish what it is they're investing in order to get the green card. We do not, in the United States, have a program that lets someone simply buy a condominium in order to obtain a green card. What they are usually doing is purchasing into a project which is building condominiums as well as perhaps other types of infrastructure and facilities to obtain a green card. So it's not a direct investment into a condo. Let's say you buy $1 million condo. That does not give you the right to a green card. What gives you a right to the green card through the EB-5 program is an investment in a project which also satisfies several other criteria, such as that the project creates 10 jobs for your minimum investment. We can talk about minimum investment. We can talk about various other things. But to answer your question specifically, buying a condominium itself, no matter how much it costs, will not afford you the right with the U.S. government to get a green card.
Okay, Bob, let me tell you, when I call you Roberto. Means I need to translate a few things in Spanish, okay, because people are live and they are asking me questions in Spanish. Lo que acaba de explicar el abogado es que puntualmente comprar una propiedad en los Estados Unidos no les da el derecho para calificar para la EB-5, que es la visa de inmigración o de inversión. Lo que tienen que hacer es buscarse el abogado de inmigración para que haga participación en el proyecto que ha sido preaprobado por inmigración o elaborar el proyecto de ustedes. Si ustedes en el transcurso de la entrevista tienen alguna otra pregunta, por favor déjenmela saber, que con gusto voy a hacérsela a Roberto. So let me ask you a question. For example, if I have a daycare and the daycare has 10 employees, does that qualify to do a EB-5, or I shall go with something like Paramount that they have already the EB-5 established, it has been approved and is a solid developer? I known by Yuri that they have 200 spots and they have already filled up 180, so they only have 20 spots. And I also understand that the government is going to raise the investment of $500,000 to almost $1 million.
Possibly.
Perhaps they do, perhaps not.
They've been saying that for a long time.
But if I have a daycare that I am selling and I have 10 employees in there, can I just purchase the daycare and apply for the EB-5?
Well, so what the law says is that you have to invest in a new commercial enterprise. And then they go on to define that in 4 ways. So a new commercial enterprise could be a new project development like this, like Paramount or World City Center, but it could also be rescuing a failing business. There are many ways to arrive at, quote, new commercial enterprise. I always counsel clients, it's kind of their choice what they're comfortable with. You can get a passive EB-5 by investing in a big project. Great.
Like Paramount?
Like Paramount. But that is not the only way. You can get a direct EB-5 by investing in a business and basically rescuing or running or growing a business. Mm-hmm. But you have to be comfortable with the risk, the amount of risk that you're going to take. The value of an investment in a project like Paramount is you have a developer with a proven track record. You have an investment that is, as you stated, already almost oversubscribed. It's almost already complete. It's going to be finished, according to the developer, in the summer of 2019. So they have the knowledge of how to apply for the green card with the United States government. They have the expertise in developing projects. They have the history. They have a successful history in doing it. So if I were to counsel a client, I would say, yeah, there are several ways that you can arrive at the green card through the EB-5 investment. However, for your own choice, you have to decide what is your risk tolerance. What kind of business are you comfortable with? Mm-hmm. What is the level of activity you want? Do you want to be directly involved in the business, or do you want to have somebody with a little more expertise perhaps involved in the business, running the business for mm-hmm. you? Those are primarily the 2 choices, and it's an individual choice. I can't say to, and I'm not legally allowed, by the way, to say to someone, this is better than the other, you should go and do that.
Yeah, they counsel with you the immigration and business side, the real estate perhaps, and then they needed advice for the financial advisor and their accountant, isn't it?
Right. I could legally get into trouble if I were to say to somebody, put your money in that investment because that's the best investment.
Of course. Yeah, not even I can do that under my license. Is there any kind of plan payment for the $500,000 for the EB-5 visa, or it is a one-time shot? How does it work?
Well, there is legally how it works and there's practically how it works.
Very good.
So legally, you can basically build up to the minimum payment of $500,000. You can say, I have $250,000 now, and I have $250,000 later, whatever. But by the time you actually apply for the green card, you need to have all of the $500,000. What the United States government will look at is not merely a desire to invest in a project for $500,000. What the United States will look at is the actual ability to invest in $500,000. So
really? So even if you don't have the full money right now, it's just the ability in case that I have more money?
Not ability, it's intent. So you have to show, for example, if I come with $250,000 cash, you have to show, in addition to that, $250,000 in assets, maybe a commercial property in your home country or something else. By the time you're ready to apply, it likely has to be in convertible cash. Now that's legally, that's the law. However, in a practical sense, I don't know any project manager, any developer, any regional center, or anybody else who is developing a project who is going to take partial payments. They are going to want to say, I want all of my money, all of the $500,000 invested before I start processing your paperwork, because they don't want to get to the point, they're relying on that money. It's kind of a loan to the project. They don't want to get to the point where you're supposed to provide the second $250,000 and you can't provide this $250,000.
Makes sense.
The government will just say, okay, well, your green card application stops. No big deal. The government doesn't care. The developer, however, is relying on that money to build their project. So they're not going to say, okay, well, we'll just find somebody else. That's why they want the commitment up front of the total amount of money. So I hope that I've distinguished between legally and practically the minimum that's required and, when it needs to be paid.
Now, let me ask you a question. If, for example, I am not looking to buy a condominium, I prefer to buy an industrial or a shopping center, but I still want to apply to the EB-5 and I want to use the one that Paramount has. Is that possible?
Of course. Because they should remember, they're not really, they can buy a condo here, of course, and I bet Yuri would be happy.
Well, exactly. That's why Yuri allowed me to come here and do this.
Yuri and several other people would be very happy.
Me too.
But if they're going to get the EB-5 through the Paramount project, they're investing in the project. They're investing in the developer's ability to complete the project, as they said, on schedule, summer of 2019. They're investing in the developer's ability to have 10 jobs to satisfy the requirement for the U.S. government. They are investing in the project. They're not investing in one simple condominium.
Ok, very well. Bueno, vamos a traducir rápidamente. La primera pregunta que le hice fue si los $500,000 deben ser dados o entregados en el momento, y la respuesta es que hay dos posibilidades. La primera es que eso es lo que desea la persona que está elaborando el proceso de la visa. Con eso está seguro de que el dinero está ya en los Estados Unidos y disponible para inmigración. Pero inmigración no necesariamente establece eso. Ellos quieren ver que existe la posibilidad de que tenga el dinero y que tiene el compromiso de colocar el dinero para comenzar el proceso de la visa. Si ya el dinero tiene que estar alocado, porque obviamente si no van a utilizar, como en el proyecto de Paramount, que ya tiene toda la documentación hecha y preparada, que eso es un proyecto que dura al menos 1 año y medio en poder componerse el expediente, por decir una cantidad de tiempo. Unos se tardan 6 meses, otros se tardan 1 año y medio. En ese momento es cuando ya el dinero debe estar aquí. Si la persona quiere usar y tomar ventaja del que ya está hecho y aprobado por inmigración, es aconsejable que tenga los $500,000 ya en los Estados Unidos. El hecho de los $500,000 y la razón por la cual les estamos ayudando a entender el proceso de la EB-5 en el día de hoy es por la sencilla razón de que el gobierno para septiembre está pensando en elevar la cifra. No estamos al tanto si van a ser en $800,000, $900,000 o $1 millón, pero o que lo dejen en los mismos $500,000. Pero las posibilidades de que en este gobierno se suba el valor para la inversión de la EB-5 de 500 a 1 millón es factible. Asimismo, también no está obligado a comprarle un apartamento al desarrollador. Ustedes pueden perfectamente hacer la inversión de la EB-5 y si quieren o necesitan comprar, pueden comprar el inmueble que ustedes desean, sea que estén buscando más bien un depósito, un almacén, o quieran hacer una inversión en una tienda, en un centro comercial, o los que compran hoteles, etcétera. Yo pienso que, dadas las preguntas que ustedes me han estado enviando cordialmente, yo creo que hemos cubierto todas las materias dadas aquí y voy a proceder a despedirme. Bob, I think that we have covered most of what everybody wanted to know here. I truly appreciate you coming and explaining this.
I'm happy to do it anytime.
I'm very happy that we save our audience $400 of fee investment in something like this.
I'm open too. You have my contact information, so if anybody has any cards or any questions, I'm happy to answer any questions free of charge.
Absolutely, thank you.
And by the way, yo hablo español, pero yo no hablo español perfectamente. Mi oficina, yo tengo otra abogado y, ¿cómo se dice?, secretaria que hablan español perfectamente porque están de un país que hablan español.
Perfect, thank you.
Yeah.